You are listening to the Dyslexia Mom Life podcast. I'm Nicole Holcomb, former teacher and school counselor turned civil rights attorney and podcast host. It wasn't that long ago that we learned the reason that our daughter was struggling to learn to read in first grade was dyslexia. Fast forward 4 years past many hours of research and collaborating with experts in the field of dyslexia, now I'm sharing the lessons I have learned that took me from being an overwhelmed mom who didn't understand dyslexia to a go-to mom who is helping hundreds of moms each week through education and collaboration. I created the Dyslexia Mom Life podcast to give you simple, actionable, step-by-step strategies and hacks to help you do the same. If you're feeling alone and lost on your parenting dyslexia journey and you're looking to find a mom who gets it, you're in the right place. Let's jump in and get started. Hey there, friend. I hope you have been enjoying your summer vacation. I know that at our house we have. The first few weeks of my summer included lots of time with family, relaxing, and reading. You may know this about me, but I love to read and listen to a variety of books. My husband laughs at the number of books I have on my nightstand. Thank goodness he doesn't actually see the ones I am, in quotes, reading on my Kindle too. This summer, I even subscribed to the Kindle Unlimited for the summer because they had a great deal going on and I wanted to be able to read whatever I wanted to read whenever I wanted to read it. And I also signed Hattie up for the Amazon free time. That way she can enjoy books and apps and different things that they have as well. But right now, the focus at our house is really on getting that book read for the first day of school. And where we can, we also are getting in other pieces. We recently watched an Amazon series called Kicks. It's about a girls' soccer team. And it really left us hanging at the end. So we didn't know what happened. So got really interested in learning more about that series. So we've been reading some of those books that a friend let us borrow. And then also, of course, at my house, it's all about some Minecraft research. But let's get back to you. If you're traveling this summer, spending some time relaxing, or just taking an afternoon to yourself, I know that's hard to come by, you may want to include one or all of these books on your next or your last summer trip, or even just a few hours to yourself. I know, squeeze them in there. You need it and you deserve it. So there are a few books I wanted to share with you. One is called The Simple Path to Wealth. The other one is How Are You Really? Love and Gelato, and Hacking the Code. All right, let's start first with J.L. Collins' The Simple Path to Wealth. And this is your roadmap to financial independence and a rich, free life. So I picked this book up on a recommendation from a group. And what I love about this book is that the author, it's really interesting, his path to writing this book. He wrote this book in a series of letters. He had written some letters to his daughter all about money and investing. He ended up creating a blog all about that topic as well. And then at some point, he puts it all together and he creates this book called The Simple Path to Wealth. Now, although I do like audiobooks and Kindle books, we invested in this book in a hard copy, and my husband and I are sharing it. We're making notes in it. We're having discussions about it, and it's a great way to, kind of bring everything together. And you may not be at a place yet that you really want to talk about finances, but I'm going to jump right in there and push the envelope on you, because what I love about this book is several things. Not only do I love the idea of the author is talking to his daughter. I don't know, something about that just hits me in the heart. But he also talks about some very powerful wealth building tools. And I'm not here to give financial advice, obviously, but he breaks it down into some very manageable parts and some very specific and straightforward tools and tips about really being prepared for your future and how to prepare your child for their future. And it has really created some really amazing conversations in our house. One of the things I love about this book is that he keeps it very practical, very simple, very easy to follow, right? He gives you a very specific path to take. And, you may be at a place where you're not handling that for your family, and that's okay. But I love that the conversations in this book and really thinking about how we also educate our kids about financing, it is really an invaluable read. So I think this is interesting. One of the things he says in his book is that, there's nothing fancy here. You just have to do the work and you have to get it done. this is not going to be easy. Simple, yes. Easy, no. Because, my friends, as you know, anything that has to do with money is not always the most simple and easy route to get to. But it's all about being prepared, and that's what we're here for, to help you be prepared and organized for your future, and more importantly, help your child be prepared for theirs. So that's book 1. The second book I want to share with you is, I'm going to skip over How Are You Really? I'm going to come back to that one. The second one is Love and Gelato. Okay, so let me tell you about Love and Gelato. So this book is by Jenna Welch, and how I found this book was, my niece that's in high school was here visiting, and she had a couple of books with her, and I always like to see what my Olivia is reading, and so she has some fantastic taste on books, and she had this Love and Gelato, and the front of it's really cute, looks like fun. But what really intrigued me was, I love travel. And this book was about a young girl who travels to Italy to meet her father. And she travels to Tuscany, and it talks all about, her adventures there. What's really neat about this book is that she sees Tuscany through the eyes of her mother. So her mother has passed away. I mean, it's almost like a Disney movie, right? Because there's always a tragedy at the beginning. But in this book, she actually goes to Tuscany to meet her father, or who she thinks her father. I won't give any spoiler alerts, but she goes to Italy, and when she gets there, her mom's journal is there of the time she was in Italy. So she gets to travel all these places and her mom's experiences through her eyes while she's also traveling. So it was a fun book because although it is a little bit about relationships, it is also about how she falls in love, and it's just a beautiful romance for a young reader. But it also talks about relationships with your family, and I loved traveling to Italy through this author's eyes. So it's a great read. If you have a teenager at home, they may like it as well. I thought it was fun. It was just a fun book to read. It was really easy to read, and it read very easily. I will have to tell you, though, that there is also a Netflix release. I think it released like 2 weeks ago after I read the book. And it is called Love and Gelato, and it is based on the characters. However, if you read the book is nothing like the show on Netflix. So I would encourage you to read the book or listen to the book. It is so much better. The storyline is so much better. The outcome, how it ends. I mean, if there were ever a book that is so different from the movie, it is definitely this one. But I highly recommend Love and Gelato. It was a fun read. Okay, so the next one, Hacking the Code. Oh my goodness, Hacking the Code. So this would be a fun book for you to read with your dyslexic. Now, some of you may have seen Hacking the Code because it is a book that's for dyslexics, and you would love the character in it. His name is Case, and the character is actually, hold on, let me go and tell you who the author is. Sorry about that. Okay, the author is Gia. I'm sorry, I'm not going to say her last name because I know I won't say it correctly. It's Meijering. I'm not even going to try. I'll put it in the show notes, so if you want to grab a copy of this book. But it's Hacking the Code, the Ziggity Zaggity Road of a Dyslexic Kid. And let me just tell you that this character, he is a 5th grade boy, and he and his friends are all about pranks. They're all about all these fun antics that they do. But the main character, Case, talks about his journey with dyslexia. I mean, he is all about who he is. And what is so great is, our kids identifying with people that they see in these books. And this boy says, oh my gosh, they're going to call me to read out loud. Or they're going to, ask me to, put you in a group. Or all these things he talks about in the book are real life situations our kids are dealing with. And what's really cool in the book is he has a really good friend, and this kid really helps him. He knows what he's struggling with, and then he is like his best sidekick. So it's really fun to listen and to read along. I do believe this would be a great book to grab and read along with your child. And right now, if you are part of, as I'm recording this, if you're part of the Amazon Unlimited, I'll put a link if you're interested in the show notes. they actually, because I signed up for it this summer as well, it's unlimited reading and unlimited audio. And this book is free right now on the Kindle Unlimited. So you might just want to pick that up just to see what you think about it. But anyway, this book, let me tell you the other thing I love about this book. Not only did I instantly fall in love with the characters, the author did such a great job with character development and really being true to what our dyslexic kids are experiencing in school and how those friendships that they grow are so important to them as far as their social and emotional development. So I loved that part. The other piece that I really loved is I read lots of books, as you know, and I'm always looking for things for you. And this particular author, her illustrator in this book, oh my goodness, the illustrations are absolutely beautiful. Now, the cover of the book shows the boy on the front. The cover of the book is great, don't get me wrong, but the actual drawings inside the book are so good. They are so professional. They look amazing. And I've reviewed other books before where the illustrators, it was okay. It just wasn't great. This one is so good. It's so detailed, and it gives life to the book. So if you're looking for a book for your kiddo, this is a 5th grade boys book, but I think girls will love it too. They talk about the girls in the book. There's actually this girl that's in the book that works with them on some pranks and does some funny things with them. It's really cute. So I can see us reading it as well. Like, it is something that I think my daughter would identify with and enjoy. So if you haven't picked up Hacking the Code, it is definitely a good family read. I think your kiddo would really enjoy it. And I'm actually going to recommend it to my child's school because I think it would be a great book for kids to read over the summer. And so, as for that summer reading. So that's it, Hacking the Code. All right, so the third and final, but absolutely, you save the best for last, as they say, is the book I am currently reading. And I'm getting close to the end of it, but I'm enjoying every minute of it. It's called How Are You Really? And it's by Jenna Kutcher. Now, I have been following Jenna and I guess kind of how do you say it? She kind of a mentor, I guess, to me. She does a lot of business stuff, a lot of podcasting. She puts a lot of information out there. She has her own podcast. But what I love about Jenna is she's so genuine. She's herself. She has 2 children now, and she's just honest. She's open and honest about her experiences. Now, you may be thinking, well, how are you really? Like the title says it all. It's really about connections and really about thinking about your own personal connection and your own personal story. I love the way this is written. This book is very well written. I've read a lot of different books this last year, and I have to say, I'm not only sharing this book because it's something I'm currently reading over the summer, because it just came out. I got it the day it was released, is that I want to bring things to you that I think are helpful to you on your journey and your journey parenting and this dyslexia journey, but also for you as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, no matter what your journey looks like, I think that you can find some really great nuggets in here. I just got through reading the chapter on fear and how fear holds us back. I think we can all relate to that, right? Like how we have to have our courage louder than our doubt. And so I really highly recommend How Are You Really? Because Jenna's words just really spoke to me. If you've listened to some other podcast episodes, I talk a lot about, I'm just going to give you a little spoiler alert here in the book. I talk a good bit about how we have to embrace failure and how we have to really flip that on its head, because every experience helps excel us, helps us learn what works and doesn't work. And we have to change that culture in our home so kids know it's okay not to get it right. It's part of the process. And I love that she talked about that in her book. You're going to love this. She says that failure, like success, exists only in the ways we define it. So isn't that beautiful? She talks about who gets to decide if it counts as a success or a failure. Guess what? We do. I love it. So she's talking all about these different pieces. This is the chapter that I just finished on failure and mistakes, and really talking about, when you hold yourself back, when you don't go and try and just take this chapter is actually called Just One Step. Where to start and how. That's the chapter I just finished. And I have to say, when you think about that next step, when you think about back to school, when you think about the new teachers, and you think about all the worries, and you think about how do I get all these things done, my friend, just one step. That's where you start, and that's how you start to make progress. So I loved that chapter. Like I said, I just think that she does a great job of uplifting women and uplifting you as a mom, and really giving you permission. Not that you need it, right? But she's great and eloquent about saying you should be thinking about what it is that lights you up. What is your passion? What is it that you want to do? And also, she talks about in the book how play is such an important action. And it's such important that we think about how we play and how we're present in our life. And I will tell you one more little spoiler. And I think it was 2 chapters ago, she talked about experiences, and she talked about presence over presence. So yes, she actually said in the book, hey, look, I'm not telling you not to buy the things, because this girl, she has 2 condos in Hawaii. So she actually Airbnbs them if you ever want to go to Hawaii. But her point was, it's okay to have things, right? You're going to have things in life. But she also talked about how important it is to have experiences. And she gives this beautiful example in the book, which I'm not going to tell you because I want you to go get the book. But she tells this beautiful example of when she was a child and how she knows that particular experience, this trip she takes with her family, impacts her as an adult, y'all. Impacts you as an adult. So when we think about this summer and we think about the things that we're doing, it made me really stop and pause about the experiences and how those experiences shape us and shape our kids. And those are the things that they remember. So yes, we have closets full of stuff here at my house. I'm not going to lie. Those of you that know me know my daughter has excellent taste on shopping. But at the end of the day, I also want to put in the forefront experiences. What are things we can do together as a family? What are some trips we can take? And so as you think about those things, those are the types of things that Jenna talks about in her book. Yeah, some of them seem like, oh, that should be common sense, but I love the way she story tells and how she wraps information around it. So if you're looking for a good book for yourself as it relates to really life and just kind of thinking outside of the box and really thinking about you and your purpose. And she talks about motherhood in this book, and she talks about it's hard, right? Life is hard. She talks about all those pieces. I know you're going to love it. So the 4 books I'm recommending that I've read this summer that I have enjoyed are The Simple Path to Wealth, Love and Gelato, of course, Hacking the Code, and How Are You Really? So let me just tell you one more. You can tell I'm reading this book, so I'm really inspired by it. The How Are You Really? She really talks about, do you ask questions like that of your friends? Like, how are you today? But she goes deeper. How are you really? Like, not the surface level question, right? She talks about community, and I talk about your tribe. She talks about community and how you build friendships, and there were pieces in there. She talked about friendships and how you make friends at your different stages and seasons of life, and it was kind of eerie because I was like, oh wow, I've thought that recently, some of the examples she gives. And so, she wants you to dig deeper in those quests and really building relationships, not only within our family, but outside of our family. So anyway, I'll stop talking about Jenna. She's fantastic. Go listen to her podcast. She's got great information out there. So don't forget, you got this. You got this summer. I'm getting ready to get together this whole back to school boot camp for moms. You are going to be so ready when your first day of school hits. Now, if you want to read any of these books, I will put links in the show notes so that you can grab those. I'll also, you can grab those on Kindle. You can grab the actual book to be delivered to your home. You can do Audible, however you want to do. I'll also put the links in the show notes to the Kindle Unlimited, the Amazon Free Time, the things that we're using this summer. They've got on Amazon, if you're listening to this in the summer, they've got some really great deals right now for the summer to get you, reading and get you involved in their products. You can always take advantage of the special and then, quit it if you want to. You can cancel that subscription. I mean, to be honest, when school starts, we may do that as well. If you listen to it later, just know that the promotions change, but those links will still be active and available for you. All right, now, remember, you got this. You are not alone. So if you want to join our amazing mom community, be sure to go and join Dyslexia Mom Life Podcast Community. It's a Facebook group. And it is a safe space for you to connect with moms, our podcast guests, and of course, myself. So hop over, get connected, start building relationships and friendships, and ask the questions that you have burning that you need the answers to. All right, see you next time.